Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Well, today we're going to pick up a cheap Mercedes SLK that I bought from a YouTube viewer. I got an interesting email from a guy called Callum who's based down in Kent a few weeks ago now, telling me all about this SLK. Now Callum had known about this car for a very long time. It belonged to his neighbour, and his neighbour, I think I'm okay to repeat this, I don't think it's insulting in any way. He said that his neighbour was very busy and had done very well for himself, but just didn't have the time to spend on cars. Nor did he have much interest. So he bought this SLK back in the 90s or early 2000s. It's a 98 model, and it was just in his garage. It'd only done 55,000 miles, so it is very low mileage for a car of this age. A few months ago, Callum got the opportunity to buy this car from his neighbour because it was just languishing in his garage. So he did several jobs to it, got it back on the road, got it MOT'd, and then he realised that he didn't really have much use for it either. So he got in touch with me to see if I wanted it. Obviously I said yes. I quite like the SLK, especially an early pre-facelift model like this. So this one doesn't even have the indicators in the wing mirrors. Don't look surprised, you know I'm a nerd, you know I know details like this. Callum's been totally upfront about the condition of this car, which I appreciate. And there are a number of jobs that still need to be carried out. So for example, the headlining is dropped, and that's now in the boot. It shouldn't be in the boot, obviously it should be here, so that needs to be fixed. There's a fault with the remote central locking, that doesn't work, you've got to use the key. And what else? Oh, the air conditioning doesn't work. So I'll probably rope Sam from SPR, who are a Mercedes specialist down in Stockport. I'll probably rope Sam into this. Whenever I have a Mercedes, it's just better to take it to a specialist. They can just pinpoint the problem because they know exactly what they're looking at. Once that's done, I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do with it. I might keep it. I don't really know why, but I quite like them. And at 55,000 miles, there won't be that many out there with that sort of mileage. So I may keep it. Who knows? Right then, shall we go and have a look anyway? Oh, I haven't even told you the price. So I paid just £1,500 for this car. And I think, let me just overtake some cyclists. Wow. It's so quick, this car, you know. I forget. I never drive it like that. Yeah, I paid just £1,500 for this car, and I think it will retail at double that. So if I can keep my spend to maybe £500, there should be £1,000 profit. If I choose to sell it, like I said, I might keep it. Anyway, I'm blabbering on now. Shall we go and have a look? I'll see you there. Well, we're here, and that looks pretty good actually. It's a very early example. I think they came out on a P. In fact, I know they did because I've had a P. I've had a P-Reg, let me start again. I've had a P-Reg SLK. That's an S-Reg, so it's a 1998, pre-facelift. That looks very, very tidy. Now I was told about a little bit of lack appeal on the front bumper, which I can see, but oh, we're missing its rear window. The little quarter light thing. Strange, unless it just hasn't come up. The wheels look alright though, the tyres look good. It's crying out for a set of reg plates. The current plates are from Beadle's of Medway. That's actually, I think, where this car is from. Not Toyota, but Beadle's Land Rover, originally. That looks quite tidy. Oh, the headlining is currently on the passenger seats. So I need to get that retrimmed and refitted. They're not as pretty as like a Z3, are they? I think the Z3's aged really well. This is quite boxy, but I don't think it's bad looking. I quite like the bulges in the bonnet. It's quite cool. Right, as always then, let's check it out using Car Vertical. So, it's really easy to use. All you do is go to carvertical.com, type in the reg or the VIN, and then this will tell us an awful lot more about the car. So, let's start then. S583 Mojo, Mike Juliet Oscar, check vehicle. And this will tell us if it's ever been stolen, written off, had a mileage rollback, or has outstanding finance on it. And it isn't just a UK thing, it checks databases in 35 different countries. In addition to that, it shows us all the previous MOT history, the ownership changes, the advisory items, the average market price. If it has been involved in an accident, sometimes it shows you a photograph of the damage. So it's a really thorough tool, this. And it isn't expensive either. And it's cheaper still if you use my promo code. So if you type in the promo code HIGHPEAK, that's HIGHPEAK, all one word, you'll save yourself 20% off each and every check that you do. This is good with not only cars, but also motorbikes as well. Right, and the report's ready, so we can learn a little bit more about this SLK. So that is a Mercedes SLK from 1989, so it's an early 99 S. It's never been clocked, there's no outstanding finance, there's no recorded damage. It's never been stolen, that's good. Okay, so there's a big gap in the MOT history here. So between 2013 and 2024, it had only done like 200 miles, so it's been off the road. This is what the guy was telling me, it's just been in the garage, which is why there's no rust on it. These things rust like mad around the wheel arches and, you know, body panels and stuff. So the fact that this has been garaged is quite a good thing. It's a 5-speed automatic. Failed an MOT, then it passed. Then the ownership changed in 24 when the previous lad bought it. Yeah, so it's been off the road for some time. Right, okay. Well, let's go and have a look around then, shall we? I already know I've got a little bit of a to-do list, so I need to fix that rear window, fix the headlining, fix the air conditioning, order some new reg plates, a little bit of paint on the front bumper there, and we're away. Oh, service, MOT, gearbox service maybe. Yeah. So it owes me 1,500 quid. I can see me spending more than £500 on this, but let's not panic yet. Okay then, right, well, firstly, we've got a load of keys here. We've got 1, 2 flip keys in good order. We've got the original keyring from Vikings of Canterbury. And we've got, now this is unusual, we've got a key card. Now my SL55 has this. I've just never seen an SLK with it. So, quite good technology for 1999. This is, of course, 25 years old now, so this could be exported to Bermuda, like I did with the Z3. There's an idea, actually. I might speak to my contact over there and see if we could do something with this. That would look quite pretty, wouldn't it? Driving around the island of Bermuda. Okay then, well, as I said, there's no rust on it at all. Let me put these keys in my pocket because they drive me mad. We've got a Falcon tyre on the back, so that's good. The wheels are in mint condition, actually. Don't need to go to Prestige with this one. And the wheel arches are completely rust-free. Oh, saying that, there's a little bit there, look. You just see that? But it's not bad at all. I'm used to seeing these where they've got huge, big, you know, holes in them. It's quite tidy. A couple of little spots there that I can touch in. The roof's in good nick. It's very tidy on the panels. No dents or anything like that. Very straight. And the same with the front arch. There's just no rust on this at all. That's incredible. This wheel has got a little bit of corrosion there, but that's it. It's in good order though, really. And the tyre's pretty good. So we've got a matching pair of Falcons on the offside. Up front then, yeah, it is crying out for a new set of plates. That will instantly transform it. I might speak to the guy, Nick, at Retro Plates. Follow him on Instagram if you don't already, because he makes this old style plate. So that actually is this is really nerdy, this. I've just ordered some for something else that I've got, which you might see before this one. An old rare Japanese little sports car. And I ordered the correct period correct plates for it from Retro Plates. So he does a really good job. And you can get it to say, or you can ask him to make them however you like. So I got the original dealer plates. It's nerdy, but a little attention to detail. Bits like that I enjoy. So this is the bit of lacquer peel here, which I'm sure Jimmy can do. I'll end up doing probably half a bumper there. Possibly the whole bumper, actually. I might order a new bonnet badge for it because that's worn away. Okay. Have we got another Falcon? We do. So we've got a matching Falcon there. The wheel again is in good condition. No rust on the arches. A little bit there actually, a little tiny bit. There's a little bit of surface rust there, that's a pity. Can you see that? I wonder if that'll buff back without me painting a full wing. I'll try. And then yeah, I don't know what's gone on here. Got a missing glass. Right, so we've got the fourth Falcon in case you were wondering. They're pretty new actually. There's loads of tread. Loads of tread on those. But of course, actually, I'm just looking at the date stamp. So these are from the 23rd week in 13. So they're 11-year-old tyres there, but they've obviously just been sitting. Car hasn't done anything, has it really? Does look very tidy. We've got nice little Carlson exhaust tips as well. Now my remote locking doesn't work, so it could be batteries, or it could need some sort of reset maybe, I'm not sure. The leather seats are in good condition though. Let's pop the bonnet then. That's all a bit loose, isn't it? That one's clipping back. Right, that one's clipping back. That one's clipping back. And yeah, there's my headlining. So you can see all the innards. Doesn't look very pretty, does it? I'll get my trimmer on that though. I'll re-trim the headlining and get my mechanic to refit it. Then we're all sorted. That That's very tidy. Now this, I think off the top of my head, there's something like 200 brake horsepower, and it's a little 2.3 litre 4-cylinder supercharged petrol engine. That's what the compressor means. It's a supercharged engine. So they do pick their feet up, these cars. They were never particularly sort of a driver's car, but they were good enough. I'm just looking for any obvious signs of rust or crash damage or leaks, but it all looks pretty good. Nothing negative there to tell you at all. Right, I'm quite pleased with this so far. Again, there's no rust on the bonnet. They sometimes go on this front edge here. That's all good. Yeah, very good. So that's the headliner. So you can just see the fabric's all started to, well, not started to sag, it's completely sagged. Now you can't stick this back because you see the adhesive just sort of wears away. So that's going to be removed, which I've just done, and then cleaned, and then a new piece put back on. That's quite a nice, straightforward job though, really. Got the original mats here. Nice thick carpet mats. Got a glove compartment there with the locking wheel nut in a nice little bag. Oh, there's my quarter light. Well, that's obviously just popped out. So we'll pop that back in. I do like buying low mileage cars. I mean, 55,000 miles in 25 years. It's nothing. Got a nice original brochure there. I say original brochure, that's weird because it shows a facelift model, so that perhaps isn't the original brochure. Because in 1999 it wouldn't have shown the facelift. Service booklet, now we're talking. Brilliant silver. First of the first 99. Okay, so Hughes of Beaconsfield. That, I think, is where my old SL500 came from. I remember that name. So, first service then done at 12,000 miles. 99, then 2000. So they were done at Vikings Mercedes Canterbury. So the first 2 years then it had done 25,000 miles. Nothing really since. Then 44, 49. Still Mercedes here. 41, 45 in 04. The last one at Mercedes then was Medway. So down in Kent at 48. So it's got nice history early on. That's good to see then. See the difference? So that's a pre-facelift. This is very nerdy, isn't it, this? Amazed myself. Oh, look at the Mercedes pen. I love seeing things like this. It's a proper genuine little find, this. Right, so we've got decent history. Locking nuts. Quarter lights, that's all good. Again, it's just started to peel there. Look at my trimmer on that. Put some fresh adhesive behind it. Tell you what, let's put this back in the car before I lose it. Okay. Let's have a look in the boot then. Pop that little button there. Yeah, look at the state of those plates. They always rust as well around this number plate surround. And this one, there's not a spot of rust on it. That's impressive. So this, of course, has to be open for the roof to work. We've got, quite heavy-handed, aren't I, sometimes? We've got the driver's floor mat there. Under here we've got, oh wow, look at that. Speaking of Hughes of Beaconsfield, we've got, look at that. This is so original, this thing. I love it. I don't know why my floor mat's there. Anyway, let's try the roof, shall we? Oh, that's weird. There's a little bit of rust here. Well, quite a lot of rust. It can be fixed, but it's just a bit weird. If it's been parked in the garage, I wonder if that's been... Because there's none on the other side. Yeah, none. How bizarre. That's almost as if there's been some sort of leak in the garage and it's just dripped on it and dripped and dripped and dripped. Can't think of any other explanation, really. Right then, moving inside, a little sporty light and short. We've got the old style steering wheel. It's done 55,000 miles. Turn off this. Right, what can I tell you then? Should we fire her up? Well, it sounds all right. It sounded quite throaty there, didn't it? So yeah, 55,000 miles, which is very low. It's got this nice sort of carbon fibre effect trim, which looks quite cool. This headlining's irritating me already. Let's try the roof then. So I don't think you need to put your foot on the brake on this. You just press and hold this. If it flashes red, it indicates a fault. Nope, we've got a solid red light. We're all good. We're in business. So far, so good. It's all working fine. Right, I'm quite impressed. My 25-year-old folding tin top actually works. Windows work as well. Well, 3 out of the 4 windows work. This one, of course, is detachable. We've got the original Blaupunkt stereo. Look at that. This is a very original car, this. We've got electric windows. This is a little coin holder. There we go. It's been years since I've seen this. Coin holder down here. We've got, look at this. Loads of old pound coins, look. From the year 2000. Right. Turn my radio off. How do we do this? Press and hold on. So the air conditioning doesn't work. I was told that already. I don't even know whether it has it or not. People often thought that this EC button was aircon, but it's not. That's like economy mode, so that would turn the aircon off. But I think this means that it's got climate, I think. I'd have to speak to Sam at SPR. I'm not entirely sure. Up here we've got some storage. It's in very good condition though, isn't it? I'm quite pleased with this. Down here we've got a little glove compartment that's in very good order. It is quite a nice car, this, and I think with a little bit of effort and time I can make it even nicer. So should we get out on the road and see if it drives all right? I'm hoping it does. Should do. Should do. I mean, it came up all the way from Kent, didn't it? So I'd have thought if there was a problem it wouldn't have made it to me. Right, let's take it for a spin. Right, let's get this SLK on the road then. So straight away there was no thud as I put it into drive. They're quite reliable old gearbox, these. Little 5-speed automatic. The steering wheel feels nice. You can still feel all the grain on it as well where it hasn't worn. Quite a warm day with no aircon. It's nice and smooth. Sometimes, by the way, if you're after a compressor, just listen out for the like a bit of a chatter from the engine, because it could be a dodgy compressor. In which case, you'll have to spend a few £100s and try and buy yourself a decent one from eBay or something. It isn't the end of the world, but just bear that in mind. It's nice and smooth so far, though. Sounds all right. Yeah, like I say, they're not the quickest, but I think 190 something horsepower, I think they were. So they're not particularly slow. It really doesn't feel like I'm in a 25-year-old car. It feels quite modern, actually. Seats are quite comfortable. Many years ago, me and a mate of mine bought one of these cheap and then drove it all the way down to Spain on a bit of a road trip. I don't know why I'm telling you this, by the way. I just thought it was relevant. Yeah, no, this is all right, this is all right. I suppose it's a little bit rattly, but then it's a 25-year-old convertible. The actual drive of it is pretty good. Feels quite responsive. The brakes feel pretty good. The steering isn't notchy. This has just had a strange life where it hasn't done an awful lot. But it's quite pleasant, this, really. Oh yeah, she picks her feet up. Now, as I say, I do have a bit of a to-do list with this, so I think first off I need to get it down to my mechanics. While it's at my mechanics, I shall speak to my trimmer, get him to go to my mechanics and pick up this, where he can then hopefully take it back to his workshop and fix it. In the meantime, I think I'll call SPR and tell them about it and see if I can bring it down to get them to sort the aircon out if it has it, the remote central lock-in, a gearbox service. I'll have a look for a new badge off eBay. Yeah, I think I need to make myself a to-do list, don't I? But it's a nice, genuine, original thing, this. Once all those jobs are done, then I need to get it to Jimmy for a little bit of paint. But yeah, there's nothing too off-putting with this. It's all pretty good. Well, I don't suppose there's much point in me going any further with this because it drives all right. There are no warning lights on. Everything works as it should. Nearly everything. So I suppose I should just crack on with the work, shouldn't I? let me do that then. I'll run it to my mechanics and I'll have an update for you. I might need a month. I might need three or 4 weeks with this. I just know that everyone I deal with is always busy. And it doesn't just need to go to one place, it needs to go to multiple places. Give me a month. Hopefully it'll still be summer. Here's where we do that awkward cut to bit 11 months later, isn't it? No, hopefully not. Give me a month. I'll have a nice SLK for you. And we're back in my low mileage Mercedes SLK, and it's all fixed and ready for sale. It's not all good news though. It did turn out to be a much larger project than anticipated. And that of course means only one thing, doesn't it? I have massively overspent. I seem to recall at the start of this video thinking I'll spend maybe £1,000 on it. Nope, that was a bit optimistic. Still, I think there's a dribble of profit left in this car for me. How much exactly, I'm not sure, but we'll find out shortly. Well, after we last spoke, I took this down to my mechanics for a service and an MOT. I also asked them to replace all 4 tyres. There was just something not quite right with the way this was driving. Now, the tyres looked good. There was plenty of tread left on them, they were a decent brand, but because this car had been sitting for a decade, they'd got flat spots on them. So I've replaced all 4 tyres with brand new ones. And I can't tell you what a difference it's made. It now handles and drives perfectly. My mechanic refitted the little window there, the little quarter light, but when they did that, for some reason, the roof stopped working, which was a bit worrying really, because it all worked perfectly well. So I thought, right, I'm going to have to take this to SPR now, my Mercedes specialist, and have them look at it. But in the meantime, I called my trimmer and asked him to go down to the car and pick up the headlining and take that away and replace the fabric. If you remember, it was stripped and looked a mess. In fact, yeah, I think it was on the passenger seat, wasn't here at all. So he took that away, trimmed it with some nice new fabric, and then brought it back. Also, while it was down at my mechanics, I got Mike the aircon man to come out and regas the air conditioning. And now, we've got ice cold aircon. It took the gas, no issues at all. So that's a bit of a result. But you see what I mean though, it was kind of one thing after the other with this car. I knew about it, so it didn't come as a complete surprise, but it has cost me quite a few quid, this car. From there then I picked it up and took it over to SPR for a gearbox service, because although it had only done 55,000 miles, it's 26 years old, this car, so I just wanted to make sure that had been done. So I dropped it off at SPR for a gearbox service, asked them to refit the headline in, because I thought they'd know exactly how to do it, and also asked them to get the roof working again. Oh, and I also asked them to check for fuel leaks. Now the previous owner told me that he'd repaired a fuel leak, but when I got in the car it smelled quite petrol-y. So I asked them to check that out as well. A couple of days later, Sam from SVR called me and he said, right, the roof's working, it just turned out to be a bad relay. So that was quite an easy fix. The gearbox we've serviced, we've drained the fluid, we've flushed it out as well, we've flushed the torque converter and all that sort of stuff, and also we've replaced the gearbox sump pan because it was quite badly corroded, so that's been done. In addition to that, he refitted the headlining. So I picked it up from SPR, and where did it go then? Oh, down to Jimmy the Magician. It needed a little bit of paint work. That rear pillar had gone rusty, and there were a couple of other spots. Can't quite remember now, but he's done a really good job, as he always does. My bill there was quite large though, but I think worth every penny, because now it looks, well, like a 55,000 mile SLK. Then I got it back to work, fitted some new reg plates. The old ones were a bit scruffy. Then the final job, I took it down to Tameside Detailing for a full valet. I picked it up from there this morning and pictured it and got it advertised. It is now ready to roll. All I need to do is find a new home for it. And that shouldn't be too much of a challenge, should it? It's a nice old thing, this. And like I say, it now drives spot on. I've advertised it for, don't laugh, £4,495. I had a quick look on the internet, and if you want a low mileage SLK, that's the price you're gonna have to pay. So 4,495. Just hoping there's still some profit in it for me. If you remember, I paid £1,500 for this car, but I imagine I've spent another £1,500 on it. Right, get your calculators at the ready. Oh, I forgot to tell you, Sam told me that there was no fuel leak on it. So after the full valet, the smell's now gone anyway. So the car was £1,500. My paintwork bill was £595. In fact, let me tell you exactly what he'd done. So it was remove rust near side front wing and door, remove rust near side and offside B pillars, repaint panels, localise front near side bumper corner. There was some lacquer peel on that near side front bumper corner. Wash, clay bar, buff, polish, wax, full vehicle and detail full vehicle, 595. That's a lot of work there really for 595 quid, so I'm quite pleased with that. The new headlining cost me £155. The bill at my mechanics was £476.79. That was for oil filter, oil, 4 tyres, refit, window, labour and MOT. So it's now got 12 months MOT with not a single advisory item. The valet cost me £70. The aircon regas cost me £60, and the number plates cost me £15. So, I have massively overspent. But, I'll just tell you, my grand total is £2,871.79. So the best part of £3,000. If I can sell this for 4 or 4.5, then it still is a decent profit, doesn't it, really? And ultimately, I've saved another modern classic, so I'm quite pleased with that. Yeah, that's about it then, really. I shouldn't be deflated because I'm quite happy with the result. Yes, I spent maybe £500 more than I'd hoped, but I'm quite happy with the outcome. If I can sell it and make £1,200 profit, then it was all worthwhile, wasn't it? It's a shame the weather's not nicer because I could have had the roof down, but it just hasn't stopped raining all day. I'd hate to ruin my barnet. Right, cheers guys, thank you once again for watching. Make sure you give... I've just remembered, I haven't added in my bill at SPR. What a clown, honestly. Bear with me a second. My bill at SPR then, right, you ready for this? Investigate roof not operating properly, half an hour's labour. Carry out 5-speed gearbox service. Additional torque converter drain in fluid. Fit new roof liner supplied by customer. Pump relay, roof pump relay, sump pan magnet and screw. My total bill there was £386.28. 386 plus 38628. So my grand total is £3,258.07. Gets worse, doesn't it? But 4.5 grand, there's still £1,250 profit, which isn't such a bad thing, is it? So £1,250 profit. Let's just try and get my 4.5 grand. Then it was all worthwhile. Right. Now this is the proper ending, I suppose. Unless I can remember another bill that I'd forgotten. Cheers, guys. I'll see you next time.